before the body tonight is not a conservative or progressive issue. It's not a Tea Party or Occupy. It's not a Republican or Democratic issue. It's a people's issue. In the last couple months, I've been able to talk and read and listen to politicians and people, and I think that most of us have the same values. We want safe communities. We want good schools. We want good jobs. We want health care. We want our pensions. We want to be able to provide for our families, and many other values that we hold in common. How we get there is a debate for another night. But what we see now is that our government is being held hostage by special interests, by millionaires and billionaires, by corporations, by unions, by nonprofits. And our politicians become beholden to those people. And they spend an inordinate amount of time trying to raise money for their next election. And so what we want is a conversation. We want a discourse. We want to begin the conversation, and where better than at Avon Township. And this is why we circulated a petition. This is why we believe that the discourse, the political and conversation should begin. I don't have all the answers. I just want the discourse to begin. And I want to be able to go to a politician and say, hey, look, Avon Township voted yay or nay, and say we want our values, the people's values to be talked about. We don't want you raising money. I think it's 50%. It's $1.5 million just to run for Congress. This is a people's issue. Thank you. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, and I'm sure that the majority, I know the moderator is much smarter than I am. The majority of the people in here are much smarter than I am, and would be able to, have this discourse. But we believe that we should begin it here. Thank you.
I'd like to nominate Barb Holdman, Graves Lake. I live at Graves Lake, 549 Lincoln. I'd like to nominate Kim Kearby to be the moderator.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
There you go. I didn't write the law.
No, that's fine.
Mr. Kirby, would you like to take minutes or would you like me to?
I'd appreciate it if you would.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, hold on, Mr. Perillo.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that you will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of moderator at this town meeting to the very best of your ability?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is your signature? Mr. Perillo?
Very good.
Is your daughter?
Mr. Kirby, there was my 5th grade teacher.
That was 5 years ago.
All right, the conference.
5 years.
Your wife will be very good.
I get a scepter.
Attorney, thank you very much for the transparency there.
What are you looking? The minutes are right. Minutes are right.
Yeah.
It's just the date that's messed up.
Under meeting minutes,
I'm sorry.
From the previous year.
I'm sorry, I was wrong.
So those are approving the minutes for the previous year, that's correct.
That's correct, yes.
It is correct.
If you want to approve the minutes for this year, we could try and start that off.
I make a motion to approve.
Out of order.
Can you raise your hand who's approving the minutes?
Bob Flannery.
Bob Flannery.
Is there no discussion on these minutes at all?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we have a motion, we have a second,
Who's the second?
I'll second it.
And
discussion.
discussion. On a voice vote, all those in attendance, and I was also introduced, but my name somehow is excluded from the board that year, because I was appointed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Also, there was a roll call vote. I think that should be delineated in the minutes.
So you want all the names listed?
I would think that would be appropriate.
Okay.
there's a list.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Yes?
Yes,
Your name, please.
my name is Barbara Jersey,
Thank
120
you.
Tall Old Kingsville. I'd like to know on item number, should the United States Constitution be amended to limit the use of corporate, special interest, private money, and any political activity, including influencing the election of any candidate for public office, yes or no, where the roll call was 22A? Has that been achieved? Do we ever find out whether or not that was,
We had a roll call vote.
Are you asking about the actual,
yes?
it was put on the ballot? Mr. Kirby, did it it passed on the
It passed
ballot?
by 75.3% in Avon Township,
Yes.
the highest in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Almost the highest in the nation.
And he knew that right off the top of his head.
Give or take.
And we're lobbying next
Yeah, is there a-
Wednesday down in the state of Illinois to put it on the state ballot for November.
Next Wednesday.
And I will tell you who I lobby for when I go down there. Any other further discussion?
There's just a misspelling of Barb Hoagland's name.
Oh, really?
I couldn't read your writing on the paper, I'm sorry. So how do you spell your name, please?
What'd you call me?
Hoagland.
Oh, H-O-G-M-A-N.
H-O-G-M.
G-M-A-N.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Any further corrections or discussion? So with those changes, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Okay.
Well, the next one here says clerk shall read, supervise.
Moderator will introduce township board. Seeing that I don't know all the township board people, if they wouldn't mind introducing themselves and telling us your favorite color, we would appreciate it.
Sure,
Mr. Ditton?
he's gone for the day.
How about introducing the new electees?
It's not on the agenda.
We could do it. I make a motion to introduce the new electees.
You have to do that under public participation?
Oh.
I would have said that if you
I'm
give me a chance.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm used to being a clerk.
Okay. Mr. Ditton's not here,
No.
and that's special. He's I like to see him representing the township.
Now
Thank
taking
you.
a Dale Carnegie course.
There you go. Thank you.
I think the confusion this time was that it was both at the same time. Would it meet your concern from the public if we state that the regular board meeting is at 6:30 and the annual meeting is at 7? That way people would have
I
a choice.
need a motion, man.
I'm asking if that would meet her concern. Does that meet your concern?
Point of order.
It seems that I.
Point of order. The next board meeting to be scheduled on or about the date of the town meeting that we are discussing right now needs to be voted on by the board in advance of that next meeting. That cannot be set a year in advance, can it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it is, it's already been
Yeah,
set.
it's
The
already-
town meeting can, but the regular.
No, actually, the regular meeting has already been set, I said it last month.
They've already done that back in January?
You certainly can direct them to change that, though. You guys are in charge. So you can direct them
Withdraw.
to change it, or direct this meeting to be on either side of that.
Yes.
But, so,
Point of information.
Yes.
It was stated that by statute, you have to have the town hall meeting starting at 7.
7.
Yes.
Well, actually,
Is that
what,
correct?
what the 60 ILCS 140/5 says, at an hour fixed by the electors, but no earlier than 6 PM on the day.
For the town.
Yeah.
Well, so it doesn't make any difference what time.
My point was that somebody suggested that we have the town hall meeting before the board meeting. It was mentioned earlier this evening, so I'm just following up on that and making it a suggestion that we do it that way, that we have the town hall meeting first.
If I may,
I need a stacker. That's, I think this young lady was first.
Right, and my
And if
question
you
is
wouldn't
that-
mind, so that the minutes would reflect it, if you would say your name,
it always isn't my turn.
that the annual meeting will begin at 6:30. Am I correct in that?
I was about to withdraw my motion, but continue to.
And I forgot what it was.
And yes, that is essentially what I am saying, that the town hall meeting
Right.
will start at 6:30 PM. Then I withdraw my
Okay, thank
motion
you.
because we don't
The
have
lady, the
consensus.
lady just wants to be able to come to the town hall meeting and leave before
Right.
the regular meeting. Because
Understood.
she doesn't want to sit here and board with all the stuff that goes on.
Understood. Oh, I didn't think it was boring. I'm glad I'm attending every one from now on. Unless I need to get a haircut.
I'd like to move that the annual meeting is at 6:30.
Killed for this one.
And I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. May I understand the meeting is that the annual township meeting will begin at 6:30.
Yes.
Okay,
Period.
And nothing about that.
And nothing about the regular meeting.
No,
Yep.
the board would set their time.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
Has there been a ruling on the initial motion to a 7 o'clock meeting yet? There was an initial motion for setting the
That was
town meeting at
withdrawn.
7 PM.
I thought that was withdrawn.
No,
That was his secondary motion to amend
No.
it. The initial motion was brought forth and seconded, if I'm
So
correct.
who motioned, Jeannie motioned it, and who seconded it?
He's talking about the.
Wait,
The initial
there's a point of order.
Is- are there
Wait,
any
there's a-
other motions?
Yes, this is a
Yes,
point
I
of order.
understand that.
There was a motion that was made on the floor for the 7 o'clock as stated on the agenda. There was a second to that motion.
Right,
There was an amendment to that motion that was withdrawn.
okay.
No vote was taken and any motion has been presented.
Correct.
Okay,
We
so-
need to resolve the
still got
initial
the
motion
motion.
before we can present a new one.
Absolutely, so Travis, if I understand this and correct me, I'm sorry, Travis.
No, I'm.
As I understand it, that Travis's motion, if I knew, I'm okay. As I understand it, I'm sorry?
I was about to say, can we have some order?
Sure,
Because he's trying to speak here.
thank you. I don't usually give that respect. Travis's motion was to have the annual meeting after the regular meeting. So if you wish, if you do not agree with, correct me if I'm wrong, Travis. If you do not agree with your vote would be no. If you agree with having the annual meeting after, as we did today, then your vote would be yes. And at proceeding that, if that motion, am I correct, Chris? I'm sorry, you.
No, I think the motion, Chris is
No,
right,
I thought he
there's a motion
withdrew
on the
his
floor for
motion.
7
Yes,
o'clock.
but I withdrew my.
Okay, I was just ruling on his point of order. I thought he withdrew it. so-
Correct, he had withdrawn his motion, there was a subsequent motion that,
Well, if the clerk would read back that motion, I'd
I
appreciate it.
have so confused by this one, I don't even know what it says. I have that Travis said one, and then it's, I have that he withdrew it. And then I have that, I heard Chris, but I did not hear what he said, and then I heard that somebody else withdrew, and then Jeannie made a motion, so I am confused,
So the motion,
completely
okay,
confused.
if the initial motion was withdrawn,
right.
Yes.
then by all means, Jeannie, proceed, sorry. I will allow the moderator to make that determination.
Jeannie, you have it that it's 6:30 annual meeting?
Right.
Okay. Who's seconding Jeannie?
Barb.
So I have a motion and a second. Is there?
You better not get more discussion.
Kick you out of here. I have a motion and a second to have the annual meeting start at 6:30. And then the board would proceed, or however they wish to do that. Is there discussion?
Call for the question.
So-
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Other business as necessary. Do I have anything from the people of Avon? Are there any others?
Useful stuff. So I think that we need to go through this process as we're looking forward.
So, let me understand. We have a question that we would like a further discussion at a special meeting to have a forensic detailed audit. Then we would entertain your question and have at a special meeting, entertain the accrual and the what? Cash. Okay, so, could I see a show of hands of the registered voters of Avon who wish to suggest that we have a forensic audit of the those that oppose that? Okay, I think that should be put on the agenda for a special meeting.
Are we talking about a special meeting of the?
Township.
The board
No.
or the annual meeting?
No,
group?
as I understand the code, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the people can call a special meeting, and I would suggest that these items at that special meeting would be voted on at that meeting.
By the residents?
By the people.
And is that, attorney, is that binding on the board?
It's binding if it's on the agenda and you vote on it. At this point, it's not binding because it's not on the agenda.
But
So,
if there were a special meeting and we voted on it, would that mean the board would have to do it?
yes.
Yes.
So that what the agenda would read for the special meeting would be all the points that have been brought up here, and that would be delineated on the agenda, and then the pros and cons would vote on it from there.
Okay, thank you for
Yes.
clarification.
Officials to do 2 newsletters per year.
The side conversations, please. Okay, so is there discussion on that?
It's pretty cut and dry.
Those in favor of putting that possible on a special meeting, please raise their hand. Registered voters. Thank you. Anything else? Wait, Dancing with the Stars is coming up. Yes.
I guess.
Yes, sir. My boss used to call me sir. Let me understand the position. The log is there to facilitate, or so that the electorate can see when the township or whomever is in attendance. And they may be at a senior citizens, and I mean, those things can be delineated in that. That's the only, if I understand it. Now, if there's a legal question, then at that special meeting, then we'll find, you guys will find out, because I'm getting tired up here. Then you know, so if that's the pleasure of the body Please raise your, all Avon registered voters, please raise your hands.
If
Oh, I'm sorry, Travis, my fault, I'm sorry.
I'll be very quick here, I
That's
promise,
okay.
Kim. With all due respect, last fall, as I recall, it was either August or September, please correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, the board was going to vote to dramatically reduce the salary for themselves. I'm not talking about staff, but for themselves. But there were certain members of the board, who I will not name, because I'm not going to do any name calling, decided not to do that. I just thought I should bring that up.
And I don't mean to debate. I shouldn't be doing that.
Right, and I don't, and that has, if the public officials decide upon themselves and take it upon themselves to reduce their salaries, that is one separate thing from how we as a public hold them accountable to be present for what we elect them to do. I think that's two different things.
And then the question I would have to the body is, how without a log, how do we get that information? Yes?
I just have a quick question. Since we're not really voting on anything tonight, can't we just collect all these ideas and don't have to show a raise of hand, yeas or nays? Just collect all these ideas and then bring them up in this special.
And I would disagree with you, but there may be a possible question that is so egregious that the body wouldn't even want to entertain that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's the only reason I think we need to facilitate the discussion.
Can we see a
Any others?
consensus?
I'm sorry.
Can we see a consensus to make sure that the
That's
item-
put on the special meeting?
Yes, to put it on the special meeting.
Call question.
Those that would like to see that put on the special meeting, please, all registered voters of Avon,
Sure.
please raise your hand. So be it. Are those opposed? I'm sorry. You're opposed?
No, I'm not opposed.
Okay.
I want to talk.
Okay.
I want to talk.
What else?
And that's the last time I asked for your permission to do that.
Tell me about it. Go on.
I'd like to request a special meeting called after the new officers are sworn in to discuss the items brought up in the public comment per Article 30.
Excuse me, I just, before you do that, I just want to make sure that there are no other questions that people wish to entertain. Back there first, and then here.
George first, go.
Your hands are going up, there's only 4 or 5 of you now, and the rest, were you guys getting tired?
I vote present.
Okay, anything else?
It's gonna be a long meeting.
Yes, I would.
You better damn well be here to speak to.
I will definitely second that.
Now, how do we set a
Excuse me,
date?
take that out of the minutes, please.
How do we set a date?
Okay, we got another one, okay.
This doesn't need a special meeting. He's
I don't know, I don't think this is the forum. If there is a discrepancy that you see, then it needs to be brought to the attention of those in charge. I don't think this is the proper forum to bring that, and I apologize if that doesn't meet your, Is there anything else?
Then I would like to say my last word. I'd like to direct the request that the special meeting be called after the new officers are sworn in to discuss the items brought up in the public comments per Article 30, Annual Towns Meeting, Section 30-10, Part C, which allows for us to request a special meeting.
Which is what we've been talking about.
Which is what we've been talking about, but I want it on the record,
So-
please.
So the annual meeting that you're speaking of is at
The
your
special
date?
meeting.
Special meeting. Do you have a date?
After May 20th is when the new board takes place, so I will leave it up to the new board to set that meeting as soon as they can work it into a schedule, which I assume will be
Is the board meet on Tuesday?
What she's calling for is a special meeting, a special township meeting by statute. Just
to
answer these
address
questions.
these issues.
And having the town board set that meeting.
Yes, right, yeah, that's what the statute says, I believe that they have to set the meeting.
Well, technically, you could petition.
Yeah, we can petition, right, but we're not.
Do you have a concern?
No, that allayed my concern, thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Can we have it on a Monday, that, since the board normally meets on a Monday? 'Cause I
That
think-
would be the prerogative of the new board.
Yeah. The statute says in the board, so.
Anything else? I just want to make a quick statement. Thank you for your participation. I'm available as chair any meetings on Tuesday through Thursday. Just call me and I'll be glad to do that. Anything else?
What's your favorite color?
You did a great job.
You did.
The meeting is.
Hey, you haven't adjourned yet.
Yeah, hit the water bottle.
Wait. Sit down. Wait.
Yay.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Do we have a second?
Second?